Hey YouTube, Mike the Rinnai guy here. How we all doing today? I hope we all had a safe and productive week and we're enjoying installing our Rinnai tankless heaters. Alright, today I'm actually making a part 2 of the video that we did last week on gas regulators because I received so many questions about the gas piping, sizing, and where to find sizing and what to look at and what to use when you're going to install it. Now, I know on past videos I have shown the gas piping, mentioned it in the actual installation video, but we're going to go now through the gas piping. So last week we did the regulators. Now this week we're going to go through piping. I'm going to show you different sites that you can go and download papers. I'm going to actually show you a paper that I keep on my truck for sizing, and what you're going to do, we'll draw it on the dry erase board. All right, let's grab the pointer. All right, first thing is piping to a Rinnai tankless heater. Let me just get this camera moved over a little bit that way. Okay, now what we have here is exactly the same thing we had on the mock-up, but this week what we're going to do is we're going to take this off later. I'm going to actually bring it up to the camera and show you the pretty much the two most important parts on this. So you have an existing gas line that's there. Now it could be an interior model. Let me just shut this fan off a second. Give me a second here, guys. Okay. It could be an interior model, it could be an exterior model, and there's already gas there. Now there could be a tankless that was there that broke down, or it could have been a water heater that broke down. So you're going to have a gas line right here that's coming in. So this flange here represents the gas line that's coming in or out of the building. You want to turn that gas line up and you want to put a full port ball valve. Again, we're going to unscrew this, we're going to bring it over to the camera, I'm going to show it to you. Then what I use is a flex. Now this is going to be low pressure, and that's what we're going to do when we go over the dry erase board. I'm going to show you the difference between low pressure and the high pressure. So you have low pressure. That means you got like 7, 8, 9 inches of water column coming in. So you don't need any type of regulator. The unit will operate on its own without any type of regulator. So now you have your gas pipe again coming in. You're going to put some type of a nipple. I like to put something long. And then I put a full port ball valve. Now, we keep two different types of flexes on the truck. Now, the flexes that we use is Easy Flex. Okay, we could see that right there. And you get a screenshot of it. They come in loads of sizes. We carry 18 and 24. This one's an 18. It's a 3/4 full port flex. So your flex is going to act as a union. Now if you want a hard pipe in the tankless, which you can, you're going to use a union, a regular 3/4 inch union. Everything that I put to my tanklesses is 3/4. Then I bring it up to an elbow, which makes it gives it a nice, instead of bending this into it and making such a sharp bend here, I put an elbow. Then you have your T, which is your drip leg, which your nipple and cap, which goes up into the aluminum fitting that goes up into your Rinnai. What I like to do on the drip leg is to use at least a 3-inch nipple. Now, with the gas that's out there today, drip legs were there because they used to have what they call manufactured gas. So the gas was remanufactured at the gas facility and there was debris and moisture in it. So the drip legs were used to catch that. And when you went to service, you needed to take that drip leg off and clean it out. Guys nowadays, they just know, oh, we got to put a drip leg in, but that's why the drip leg was there. All right, it is to catch debris, moisture, but a lot of gas was what they called manufactured gas, and that had debris in it, stuff in it, moisture, whatever. But I like to put at least a 3-inch nipple. Now, on some cases, they actually used to require a drip leg to the floor to support the gas. But then they found drip legs to the floor. If you had a basement, you get moisture, you get water, the bottom of the cap rots out, you end up with a leak. So, you know, it was like they were caught between a rock and a hard place, what they wanted to do. But use at least a 3-inch nipple. If you put longer in. All right, I also paint all of my gas pipe gray, okay? Like a lacquer gray paint. And we make sure that we paint the threads really good, because as you know, when you thread a piece of Schedule 40 pipe, it becomes thinner. And no, just to let you know, these are not chrome nipples. These are, I buy them in sets, so I buy from close to 6 of each nipple. They do have some, they're made by Legend, and they're not chrome, they're just like a silvery galvanized. So if you notice on a thread, it becomes thinner. It reduces the wall thickness of Schedule 40. So by painting this really good, it'll prevent it from rotting out, because the paint is like a protector. All right, so gas in, elbow up, or yeah, I mean, you could make a 90, you could make like a double 90 here if you wanted to. Just that's the way. Long nipple, full port ball valve, the flex, and then an elbow into the T, drip leg into the unit. Now, I don't put, even though Rinnai says you could put these units will run on a 1/2-inch gas line. I don't. No matter, even if you have 1/2 inch coming out, what I do is either with a coupling, and I don't happen to have an elbow, I use this happens to be a bell reducer, increaser, however you put it. But I will put my 1/2-inch gas line here, and then I will come out with the 3/4. Now, in an installation like this, I would put a short 1/2-inch nipple and then a 3/4 by 1/2 elbow here. And then the 3/4 nipple with the valve, and then the flex, and so on. So increase your gas line. Why? It gives it a little bit more volume going into the unit. So if there is other gas appliances in the house, you will have a bit more gas inside this pipe to operate the tankless heater. Now, let me grab a regulator here, like from last week. Here's a regulator, and yes, it is an older regulator. It's the only one that I was able to grab from the shop. It's a Pietro Florentini regulator. Okay, it's an F30052AA BVA, and it's with a black spring. It's from 8 to 14 inches, set at 8. That's the regulators I use. These could be used for natural gas and propane. 2 pounds in, and then the 8 to 14 out, set at 8 from the factory, and it's, 8 to, yeah, I said 8 to 14. All right. Now, again, with the regulator, you have an arrow. I like to put the magic markers on there, the magic marker arrow, so I know, because the arrow on the bottom, sometimes it's a little hard, but a quick tip, the vent limiter, or this is, in this case, this is the rain cap. The vent limiter and or rain cap is on the outlet side. All right? So if this here is facing the unit, you're in the right direction. But put the arrows on just in case, because it'll make it double sure that you have it in the right direction. So remember, the regulator goes down, of course, after the valve, but it has to be a minimum of at least 30 inches to 36 inches away, minimum. So you would have to do a little manipulating, maybe go down and come back up to get the right distance from the regulator to the, now that's from the regulator. Remember, the regulator is going after the valve, because you need to shut off if you have to service or remove, replace, whatever, this regulator. So it's from there to here is 36 inches, right to there. Okay, so there's your regulator. So now let's just take this apart and I'll show you quick, and then we're going to go over to the dry erase board and start doing some piping here. some piping diagrams. So here is the yes, we drop everything here at the Rinnai guy. So this is, we use the FNW valve. You can use Legends, Apollo, but you see it's a full port ball valve with a stainless steel ball inside. Very good valve. Very good valve. They're all made pretty much the same. And then the flex, because there's 1/2 inch inside the flex, is your 3/4. See, it's full port 3/4. And that, you know, so now you got your a double union half that you can play with. All right. This here is a table. So it's gas piping installation table, and it gives you, it's double-sided. So I took it right out of the gas code book. I don't need all the other stuff that's in there. There's about 16, 18 pages in the book. And what it does, it gives me 4 tables. 1, 2, 3, 4. This table here is for iron pipe. And it gives you, if you have, say, 5.5 PSI or like 8 inches of water column to 5 inches of water column. It tells you how many feet of pipe here. It gives you pipe size and then your BTU, and you just line it up. Then on the back side here, this is what I mostly use, is the 2 pounds with a 1 pound pressure drop, 5 pounds with a 3.5 PSI pressure drop. And again, you have your pipe size from 1/2 inch to 4 inch, 1/2 inch to 4 inch, from 10 feet to 200 feet, 10 feet to 200 feet. Same on this side, 1/2 to 4, 1/2 to 4, 10 to 200, 10 to 200. Now, let's just say I have 199,000 BTU tankless, which is normally like a 9.4 or an RUR 199. And I have 30 feet, I have 40 feet, let's just say 40 feet of pipe. At 2 PSI, I could actually run, I could run a 3/4 at 1,360,000 BTUs. So if I turn it around to what it would be normally be, all right, so your question normally would be, you do not have 2 pounds, you have inches. So, and most of you safe around 40 to 50 feet. So at 40 feet, 3/4, let me see, okay, 40 feet at 3/4 will give you about 200,000 BTUs. So you're perfect. You're just there. Now, if you have other things along the line, that could steal the gas. So if your tankless is less, and we're going to go over this on the dry erase board, and you say you have a furnace before the tankless and it's cold weather, the furnace fires, it's 125,000 or even 90,000 BTUs. You're going to steal a little gas from that tankless. And now we'll go over to the dry erase and show you. So this you can find in, okay, let me swing this over just a little bit, because this is where you're going to be able to find this table. You're going to go on to Google, or you can find it as a book, and it's the NFPA 54. This is the National Fire Protection Association. Now, I am very familiar with this because I'm an ex-fire chief, and we used to have to use NFPA for a lot of other things. So the National Fire Protection Association, when you go on that site, you're going to have to get to 54. So if you just Google NFPA 54, it'll pop up. But if you go on the National Fire Protection site, because that'll give you like fire hydrants, it'll give you fire sprinkler, it'll give you a lot of different things, emergency escape ladders, all that type of stuff. But 54, that encompasses the gas, okay? And it's been around since like the 70s, 74, 75. That's when it came out. So it's there many years. All right, so let's grab some markers. and we're going to go over which is the most common gas. Let's see, pick a color. What color? What color? What color? Let's go with green. So you have your gas meter. And we'll put a little smiley face on them. There's your gas meter. Then you have a gas valve, and then there's a regulator there. Let me zoom this in so you can see a little better here. A little too much. There we go. And I think green is the wrong color. So let's try black, because I think you'll be able to see it better. So you have your gas line that comes up out of the ground, goes to your gas meter. You have a stop and then a regulator. Yeah, we can see that better. Let's turn this light a little bit. There we go. All right. Now, when you come out of your gas meter, sometimes they put another valve here, and there's a little test port to test the outgoing gas pressure. And then your gas line will run to your tankless. So this is your tankless heater right here. So this is, say, 40 feet. So you're good at 3/4. You're very good at 3/4. Now say this is 80 feet. You're not good at all. So your utility company will make this into a 2-pound meter, or it might be a 5-pound meter. It depends on your area. So you're going to have to get in touch with your utility company and find out what they could provide you coming up from the street here. Okay? So this is going to be either 5 elbs or 2 elbs pounds. So it's either going to be either or. That regulator right here is what reduces it down. Now this here could also be 10, it could be 25. But you want 5 or 2, normally it's going to be 2. So this regulator here is going to reduce it down, and then they're going to get your inches. But if you have this at 80 feet, 100 feet, 70 feet, 125 feet, that's going to be different. So now you're going to put this into 2 pounds. You're going to put 2 pounds, and then you're going to put your gas regulator here 36 inches away. And now the system at 2 pounds will increase this, because remember on that chart it's like at 80 feet at 2 pounds, wrong side. Okay, 2 pounds, 80 feet, excuse me, 80 feet. Okay, 2 pounds at 80 feet will give you, at 3/4, will give you 1 million, almost 1,100,000 BTUs. So that's, I mean, you can go up to 200 feet, won't. So let's see. Yes, I'm sorry. 200 feet will give you 642,000 BTUs. So if you had 200 feet of pipe with 2 pounds, you could do it. Now, let's take our regulator out, and let's just say we're back to our 40 feet. And this is the tankless. Now, we're going to go from the farthest back to the meter. You have a line, and now you have your heat. Now you have a stove. And now you have a dryer. So now you have a total of 4 appliances on that line. So coming out of the meter, you have a dryer, a stove, a heater. But you had a water heater here before Mr. Tankless, Mr. Rinnai. That inches most likely will work. But going from, say, a 50,000 BTU, and we're just going to go for math to a 200, so just for math, the Rinnai instead of 199 is 200. You had 50. You just increased the BTU value by 150,000 BTUs. So this will not work. It might work on low fire, because remember, the tanklesses are low and high fire. So they'll fire like 5 inches of water column to 10.5 inches. On propane, they're going to go up to 13.5 inches of water column. So on low fire, one sink, maybe the dishwasher, but as soon as you get in that shower and you start turning on shower heads, Bob is not your uncle. The tankless is going to give you a code 12. So what you need to do is, what I suggest to do with this is to take out the old line, cap it off from the water heater. Now I'm going to try this righty. I'm a lefty, and drawing like this is not good for me. You take a tap off the meter, you have this meter changed, say, to 2 pounds, and now you have 2 pounds coming out. You have to reduce the existing line in your house so that it's inches. So you put another regulator here. So one of these goes right here, which reduces the pressure in the house. Then you run your 40 or so feet of pipe into the new tankless heater, and you put another one of those regulators 36 inches away, and Bob's your uncle. It'll work perfectly. Otherwise, if you didn't put this regulator here, you would need to put a regulator here, here, and here. And for you plumbers and gas guys out there, installers, that becomes quite costly, because that's an additional 8, 16, 24. And it's, with that is $320. I screwed up on the math there. So by adding that regulator there, which you can, because remember, this regulator, this 3/4 inch black spring Pietro, is good for 1,100,000 BTUs. So you just forego 1, 2, 3 and leave everything alone, and put your regulator after the 2 pounds, reduces that, and then comes over. Now, it is also good to put a test fitting right here. You could put a 1/2 inch nipple with a valve and a plug, and then you could put your manometer in there, and then that will tell you if you have that correct 2 pounds of pressure going this way. And then that is your other test port. Now, why this chart? Why NFPA 54? Well, let's just say now we have our meter. Here's Mr. Meter. This time we're going to put another smiley face on him. Looks like Mater, right? From, what is that, Cars? And now, you go up, last thing is Mr. Tankless. Now we're going to go with the heater, range, stove, dryer, stove, heat, and Rinnai. Boop. All right. There's another way you could do this. Is you can measure your length, and then take your, the stove could be 65, 100, 199, and 50. Okay? So you add this up. So let's see, we got 100, 115, 215. Say you got 400,000 BTUs, which is, like I said, for math, 400,000 BTUs. So you can look at, and this here is 60 feet. So you take your chart at low pressure, and you got 60 feet, and you have 200,000 BTUs. All right, you can get away with 1-inch pipe. So this would be a 1-inch line from here to here, and then 3/4 from here. Then your heater is 1/2 inch, your stove 3/4, your dryer 1/2 inch. You can make this, so this is 1 inch, this is 1/2 inch, this is 3/4, this is 3/4, and this is 3/4. So the charts that you'll get off this, you just look at, you add up how many BTUs, and there's a rating plates on everything. You just got to look. You got to open up the door of the stove, look around the seal, pop open the dryer, look around the seal, go inside or outside of your furnace or your boiler, take the front door off the boiler and look and see the BTU value. And then, of course, your tankless heater, you're putting in brand new for your customer, and that's going to have a rating on it. Remember, the tankless heater, upper left-hand side rating plate. You add that all up, then you add up your footage, okay? I always like to add at least 10%, just for a safety factor. So you want to add at least 10%, 5% of the total. Because remember, you know, you're going up, you're going this way, you're going this way. So you got to plan out your gas. But then you got to plan out that measurement. Because remember, you might go from point A to point Z, but you're not getting from point A to point Z because there's obstacles in the way. So you're going to go A, C, C, M, M, R, R, Z. So you got to add all that, okay? Got that? All right. So that's in a nutshell. That's if, say you got a brand new house. You're doing a brand new house. So you have a contractor, does a lot of work, start putting gas in. You got a brand new house. Utility company, you know what Mr. Meter is going to be. And then you're going to allot. Now here in Florida, all we do is ask for, normally in Florida here, maybe 40% of the time we have a heater, a furnace. But we have a stove, we have a dryer, and dun, 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 we have a grill at 65,000 B. Remember, everything is BTU, British Thermal Unit. Yes, the British invented it. So it's a British thermal unit. It's how much energy that appliance or that burner will produce. So like on a stove, you have 5 burners. You have left, front and back, center, right, front and back. Each one of those burners has an orifice in it. Each one of those orifices has a BTU rating. And that BTU is for each burner. So let's just say we have our stove, and the stove is the best example. You have a burner, a burner, a burner, a burner, so it's a little one, and a burner. This one here might be 20, this one here might be 10, this might be 13, this might be 8, and this one here might be 25. So you add, they get added all up by the manufacturer, and that gives you the total BTU value. Now you have a whole stove with an oven. On the bottom you have a broil and a bake. Those also have orifices in them, and they also have a BTU value. So the manufacturer adds that all up and then tells you that the stove is whatever, 50,000, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. Hey, no dancing today. So that's what you'll find on that stove. Now on like a heater or furnace, that again is like a tankless. It has has the burners and it has a BTU value. The dryer, 1 burner, 1 BTU. The grill could have 3 to 6 burners in it. So each burner, again, the searing burner in the back. Again, each one has an orifice, each one has a BTU value. Add it up, that's what your total consumption is for that unit. And again, yes, they do have, you could bring the burners down to just a simmer. You can bring them up so you could boil a big pot of water for your spaghetti. So that is what you would find. But like here in Florida, we get 5 to 10 pounds coming in, reduce it down to 2 pounds, and in most of the cases, Mr. Meter and Mr. Regulator will have a red face and a red dial cover. So, yeah, it's easier. This here on the regulator here would be red. The adjustment cap would be red. And that's going to tell you that that meter is high pressure. It's got to have red face. So, Mr. Meter, we got to put our eyeballs in there, is red face. So then you can do your 3/4. What I like to do, and here in Florida, this tankless would be right here. So in Florida, this tankless would be here, coming off the low pressure side, and then low pressure, there is no 2 pounds. This here is inches, because everything here is put on the outside, on the new houses. But here, on a house where they want it inside, we'll just run a 3/4 line, 1/2 inch over to there, 3/4 to there, 3/4 to there. Well, here, like we don't have that, and then 3/4 to that. Regulator there, and then a regulator there, which would then reduce the pressure to this, and that. Again, sometimes we do have furnaces, but most of it's all the heat pumps and the electric coils. That's at least what I have here in my house. I've missed my hydronic boiler. So this would be all low pressure, so low, 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 high, 2 pounds to inches, regulator here, and then regulator here going to that. Okay, and of course this would be a direct line going to that. So in this case, we're taking this out, that's an elbow, and this is like a brand new installation. No, sorry, wrong one. This here would then still continue like that, and then this, we don't need this down here no more. Then this here, we'll go into here, regulator here, regulator here. So now you have inches to your grill, inches to the heater, inches to the stove, inches to the dryer, and 2 pounds going to your tankless heater. That would be the best way to do your installation. So let's go over this one more time, because these are, like I said, 2 of the biggest questions. There's no model number on this thing. Oh, wait a minute, maybe there is. Okay, yes there is. Oh my God. There's the model number. Everything in the, you know the routine, everything in the description below. Okay, I don't know how much you're going to see of that model number. So, Pietro Florentini, Easy Flex. That's what I like to use. And everything works great. All right, YouTube. One more week, and we have the giveaway of the phone holder, which is somewhere over there. You know, that that holder. We got next video will be the giveaway. So go on to NFPA 54 and that'll give you your gas code. Let's get this back to our little, and that should be it. All right, down in the description below, we will adjust our camera so you see me. Down in the description, you'll have your regulator, your Easy Flex, I'll bring down also NFPA 54, and I hope this answered those questions. I mean, this is probably the second. Number one is the venting. Venting is my biggest question, and I'm trying to accumulate all the vent so we could just spend one big video and show you the difference between the condensing and non-condensing venting and all the different fittings and what you could do. But I hope this now, with these two videos, answer all these questions you contractors out there have either emailed me, commented to me, or talked to me on the phone. All right? The big news is I finally figured out how to get to all your comments right away. So put your comments in and I will answer you, either answer your comment or tell you when and where to call me at and at what time, and I will go over with you. Okay, YouTube? You all be safe out there. You and your customers enjoy that endless Rinnai hot water, and I will see you on the next video. Take care now. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.